Alright, never did this before. I've never done this trial. When I woke up the following morning, Suzo-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. Ooh, spooky. Man, Suzuto's not here. I don't know how I feel about that big dog, big man. April 17th, 9:32 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. Don't you give me that. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, are in the fancy dress. Suzarto, or however you say it, I don't know. Miss Suzuto had to leave early this morning. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? No. Forget about me if you like. Go and see her off. It's fine. It's not fine, Ryunosuke. It's not as though Miss Suzuto and I won't meet again one day. Even so, but you, Gina, you only got one chance, and this trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. I bet it's Cyrus. Oh, excuse you. How are you feeling, Jeannie? Did you manage to sleep? Meow. Waka hi. Iris, so what are you doing here? What do you mean? When a friend is in need, you show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy? Hit the meow. Oh, he hit the meow. Ah, Waggy! Great way to show your support, kitty. I'm gonna have a nose around what arm can do. Oh, that reminds me, I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Genie? Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. No, always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities. Interesting. Let's not go there. Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning, and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move. Huh? The bad news was a weather report? So I hope that Susie made it to her train to Dover. That the train hasn't delayed on its way to the port. Gosh, yeah. Alright then, what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make it up the time later. Well, that's a good news, isn't it? Is it? She's still gone, and I don't like that. I couldn't give them monkeys, really? Oh no, that's rude. If only all good news cancels out the bad. If only... And look, the trial's been made the headlines too. Pawnbrokers perish in pick purse plunder. See? How do you like that? We'll let them say what they want and see if I care. I can't, because you're covering your face. Don't worry, Reno. Don't worry. Reno will soon show everyone that the headline is nonsense. I will. And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be Discharged diver and dauntless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Reno? Oh, yes. Let's hope so. Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How about it? I was trying to sound like Susie. Did it work? Oh, did it? It's like she was still here. It's like... Okay, this is gonna be super important. This is gonna be like groundbreaking news. Good luck then, Reno. I'll do what I can. Huh? Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. Oh, you're gonna be our partner. I'll be on your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement. I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is. Thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you. Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Ginny? Well, I was wondering is all about Sholmes. Did they fix him up alright? Oh no. Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet. Okay, guys. This is gonna be like the Franziska von Karman moment in Farewell My Turnabout, or the Gumshoe moment in Recipe for Turnabout. He's gonna come in last second, and the fact that he was shot is gonna solve everything. I don't know how, probably like something ballistic markings. They like to meme about those. I don't know if Shutakemi liked the meme, but it was funny. They're gonna ballistic markings be like, you can't prove that this gun shot people, and we're gonna be like, haha, we still have the bullet from Herlock. I'm gonna open a soda real quick. My bad. Eh? I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard. I switched up their voices. I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up. Wakes up to save the day. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Yeah, he would. He better. I'm so sorry if you guys heard that fizzing. Oh, right. No Suzuto-san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime. Miss Gina Lestrade comes for the defense to come to its let's begin. Please make your way into the courtroom. It's time then. Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris. Okay, I'm gonna be completely front. I know something about this case. I don't know what. I've seen like a bunch of screenshots and like thumbnails. I know those two that we supposedly saw are the two testifying at the pawn shop when Sholmes was shot. I know them. I don't know if they're going to be the first witnesses, and we have to bring them out through someone else, but I do know they exist. Be the right, Runo, because people can't stop putting spoilers in their thumbnail. Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here. If I learn anything from my great friend, it's that. I'm gonna move my soda away from the mic so it doesn't kill any voice. And I also have water here. I'm planning to beat this today. April 17th, 10 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Well, look, they're reusing jurors again. That's really... In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare the court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I totally forgot I voiced the judges. I will now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready. I remember you, Van Zykes. The defense is ready. You don't look ready. Lord Van Zykes. My lord? Remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service? It was some 5 years ago, my lord. What happened 5 years ago? Is that what we're gonna solve? Yes, and the 2 months ago you resurfaced someone unexpectedly, and here you are again today. There's some circumstances of which the court should be aware that has led to this erratic behavior? No. That's for the second game. That's for the second game you're on. And one might describe you as former life. What one might describe as your former life 5 years have passed, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government. Really? Yet today you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel. There are two types of person I can't abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large. He means Mr. McGillen, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago. I know. Yeah, I just about managed to work that out. Thank you. Magnus McGilded. If I had known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, Those wily scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confident tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East, the Nepalese. Oh, we going racism. Oh no. Well, hey, did he really just say that? He means you. Thank you, Iris. I actually managed to work that one out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? Is he talking about the fact that our country signed like a thingy and I'm coming here and absolutely annihilating his court system? The torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zyke's eyes. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about all Japanese people? An alarming, scathing explanation, Lord Van Zyke. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all Londoners and malefactors. Now, I ain't no I only done jury duty once in my life, right? But I'm pretty sure you can't get jury duty this close together. It's literally, oh, I guess the last one was 5 months ago. No, but the case, wait. Did Saseki-san's also happen like a week ago? Or did that also happen 2 months ago? 5. No, 2. Your lordship is too kind. Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial. We got... You became a doctor? What the fuck? That's a bad guy on the far right there, sir. That's a bad man. That is a very bad man. That is an awful person. You should check on his you should do a background check on that man. Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant? Mr. Garadeb, at least you're here. You can help us. Oh, you're gonna hate us because we put your wife in prison. Oh no, sir, please. Former lieutenant in the British Army here. Don't you know? Chaps like me were born ready. Clean crockery, clean cutlery, and clean conscience. His lordship motto is very appropriate here, I think. I think this is a new guy. Everything will be stereoscopic. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have? But could I have? She's doing Morse. What does the Morse mean? Hold on, hold on. Short, long, 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 short, short, long, short, long, short, short, long, long, short. Women indispensably in society. Stop. Female-centric future. Wait, stop. Good day. I'm visiting. Wait. Oh, he's looking at the translation manual. Oh my god, that's funny. A translation dictionary. I don't know what's in place. I don't. New Russian. Good day. I'm visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower, please. Something's wrong, Reno? Oh, not exactly. It's just, we've all had... It's fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact. Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time. Do they, Iris? It's quite strange. The jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know? So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. Very well. Lord Van Zyke, the court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of this case. As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning of the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there's never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. Prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. Shot in the back. Okay, so that's an entry room, not an exit. As the court will observe, there is a single wound bullet just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. Do you think I totally forgot his name, but he was a bad guy. He was He was like the friggin' communist revolutionary guy in the second case that we thought that we mistaked Petrov for. Petrov, was that her name? The girl. But he's visiting. So how did he get put on a jury? Did he mistakenly end up here? That's probably it. By translation error. Moving on the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. So she was on the floor. So she was on the floor. We found her lying down. So she's on the floor. He was possibly walking away from the incident, and they're saying she pulled the gun and shot him in the back. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. That could also be it. I mean, I took it as a lying on the floor, but I guess you could just say she's small. Someone like the accused, you might say, is this going to be another Machito Bai incident? No, please. Oh. The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Autopsy report. A report prepared by the Scotland Yard coroner confirms instant death due to a single bullet wound from the peg. There are no other signs of trauma. A photograph of the victim found murdered in the storeroom. It shows a single bullet wound in the man's back. This is going to be really interesting because this is the first case I actually have I don't know anything about, aside from the two witnesses. And maybe the fact this Egert Benedict guy probably did it, because he literally stole things from the crime scene and then just danced away. It's like there's no way this guy didn't do it. I will now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. And he pulled a gun on us, so we know he has a gun. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only two persons present. The victim, Mr. Windybank, and the accused. Yo, my man thinking. He thinking. Maybe further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had the gun in her hand? Yep. She had in her hand the gun used to fire the fatal bullet. Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grubby little girl a pickpocket anyway? He's one of those filthy drabs that live in the slums in the East End. Oh my god. Oh well, it's only a matter of time before she got blood on her hands then. What are the juniors waiting? The girl's guilty as heck. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has to do to survive. That's probably it. That's probably it. That's not a good excuse, Naruhodo. My learned Nepalese friend, it is of you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, the appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses. Good gracious. After their testimony, the girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pick purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth. Oh, she believes in this. Look at that smile. The court will take the plans and firearm in evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zykes. At once, my lord. Okay, plan of Windybank's pawnbrokery, the scene of the crime. It shows the relative positions of the main shop and the rear store room. Windybank's revolver, gun belonging to the victim, Mr. Windybank, that Gina was holding when she found unconscious. There are signs of a single discharge. So obviously a single discharge. We know Egert has a gun. So We know Eggert has a gun. We know there was at least 2 shots fired. If we can find out if Eggert's gun was fired, maybe at most, Eggert could have also switched his gun. I guess it wouldn't really need a reason to do that. This one definitely belonged to him, unless it's just the same model. Interesting, interesting. This isn't good. I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Runo. Please fix it. I'm gonna kill you if Regina gets evicted and convicted. I think that's because it has. Oh, he's already thrown off the cape. Oh no, he's already serious. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses of the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windybank on April 16th of this year. I'm still correcting that. I don't care. Those two. Those are the 2 I know. Witnesses, state your name and occupations for the court. Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is a baddie. Professional baddie. Name Ringo Token. Occupation same as him. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector. That's right. We're what they call the 3 Skulkin brothers. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't let me in with you lot. Cool, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's a hold up, bruv. Lost contact with them we have, so we're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we come across you. Very split of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? Hey, it is, Nash. It is the very spit of him. So we decided that what we gonna do. We will call you Big Bruv Skulky. Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Shulkin? And that's before he run out of chips. Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Beg your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias. What I would like to know, Inspector, is that you are doing it in the witness stand. What you are doing at the witness stand. The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft. Thieves, are they? These 3? No, my lord, beg your pardon, but please don't let me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these 2 brothers illegally entered an establishment with an attempt to burglar. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far more sinister crime. So you're saying they also went to go rob the pawnbrokery and they found the incident. By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence. It's not a coincidence. Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed its proprietor's murder. That's an insane coincidence. There's no way that they believe this. Order, order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I would like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand. Me and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Saying Skulkin is really hard. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw. Happy to. Because the Skulkin's never skulking. Very funny. He's not doing it. He just looked away. Get out with it. Get out with it. Get out with it. Wait. Get out with it. Get out with it. Illegal entry. We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gas door was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, cool, blimey lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We've never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet. You shot Herlock? You definitely shot Herlock? A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot. The witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. When the door providing access to the doorway from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside. Wait, how'd you guys do it? Did you break it? And within, only the victim and the accused were found. I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please. Counsel? Yes. What's the matter, Reno? Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by the pair in the stand. I know that's all nonsense, because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. I guess us being at the... Wouldn't this case be impossible if we just never checked downstairs? I assume. Coincidences, Shutakumi, you sure love them. At least Yamazaki? The one who wrote Investigations 1 and 2, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice, his coincidences were at least viable. I don't care. I think he's a better writer than Shutakumi. I don't like Shutakumi's style as much as I like Yamazaki. I just call him Yakuza Man, but that feels like wrong. That feels like racist or something. Because Yamazaki is hard to remember, but Yakuza isn't. Okay, I'm gonna get canceled now? Front door of Winnie Banks was ajar, you say? What time of night was it? Is my fan on? It's freaking hot. Must have been about when, right, Rungo? Oh, that's the most blatant telling of lies. Must have been about one, right, Ringo? Yeah, I'd say so. Right, Sulky? Why would I know? The place would have been shut at 1 in the morning, just like every other shop in town. Well, it was pitch black inside, it's true. Ain't that right, Ringo? I'm not so sure, Nash. I seem to remember a little light burning inside. What about you, Sulky, me, old Maka? Leave me alone. It definitely was a small lamp burning inside, that's true. That's when we alerted us to the situation in the first place. And where were these gentlemen ventured into the old establishment? Gentlemen? The accused, Miss Gina Lestrade, already had the muzzle of her gun trained on the unfortunate victim.
Objection!
That is pure conjecture? Perhaps, but it changes nothing. These brothers inadvertently wandered into the middle of a cold-blooded murder, simply because they found the door of the victim's establishment open and ventured inside. Right, that's what happened. It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in. It was. What are you trying to suggest? That you had to go in? Oops. Well, God's moving mysterious. God's moving mysterious ways, don't they? They say, don't they, Ringo? They do, Nash, they do. Must have been some sort of providence, I reckon. God's will often presents itself at the whims of thieves, does it? It weren't no whim, I'm dead sure of that. It weren't Nash, it weren't, like we were saying at the time. You don't find doors open in the middle of the night like that. Nah, there's no two ways about it. My phone going off. It was a sign that a long-lost brother was inside. They're not very good liars, are they? Well, you can't deny it. It led us to a bloke what looks like a... Led us to a bloke who what looks like just like our bro. Are you saying he was at the crime? He was in the pawnbroker on the day of the right? Or are you saying I should cut it out? Those ships are getting a chomping today. Yes. Well, once I got inside, old blimey illuminating, we heard a gunshot from the back room. A gunshot, you say? Just the one. Are you sure about that? Yep, that's the one, Governor. I could swear to that. It was Nash. It wasn't. Ain't that right, bruv? The firearm used belonged to the victim himself. Yes, Mr. Windybank always used to leave his gun lying around on the counter. Right, I remember. When we examined it, we found the revolver was completely out of rounds. That makes sense. Mr. Windybank always used to say he only ever kept a single bullet loaded. That's true. I remember him saying that as well. So what can we say? So we can say with considerable certainty that only a single round was discharged from the firearm used at the murder weapon. Yes, my lord, we can. And I should remind the court that the firearm in question was discovered in the hands of the accused. Wonderful. Voicing these guys have gotten all my voices mixed up. Oh no. We went in to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. Oh my god, my phone's going off. Do you mean the door between the main shop and the storeroom? And my learned friend is having difficulty grasping the situation. Perhaps a drawing would help. Excluding the shop's entrance from the street, there's only one other door. That of the storeroom. Of course, there was only a little lamp burning, not much to see by. And the door was hidden behind a curtain. At all. That's right. When we arrived, the door was mostly obscured by the curtain. Tell me, what exactly did you try to open that door? Why exactly did you... Didn't they just say they're thieves? Any normal petty thief would run at the sound of a gunshot, I would think. Oh, okay, you know what? The gunshot happened before. Yeah, well, your turn to rabbit, Ringo. Well, Nash, yeah. I suppose we have to say we ain't normal, eh? Broadly speaking, humans respond in one of two ways when hearing a gunshot or scream. Fight or flight. The timid flee, gripped by fear, while the courageous investigate to see if they might help. These gentlemen of the latter inclination, my learned Nepalese friend, it would seem, is the former. Alright, somehow I just proved that I was a coward that night. Thank you, counsels. So I believe we are understanding that the door was locked and could not have been opened. Proceed, witnesses. You know, we've done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left her the night, nice and quiet. Okay, was there anything missing at the crime scene? Hold it! You didn't do or take anything. Is that your story? Well, it was a bedlam as soon as, weren't it? It was Nash. It was Nash. It was. Didn't even have time to pull him the dukes out of me, Lucy Lockets. They're just saying words, dog. So with no time to take your hands out of your pockets, you just left nice and quietly, you say? That's a lie. That's right, Governor. Nothing we ain't more than violence, peace, love, and nibblers we are, not bludgeoners. We are, Nash, we are. Never even pulled me dukes out of me, Lucy Lockets. So you're clearly like us. So you'd clearly like us to believe. Eh? Come again? As you fled from the pawnbrokers that night, did you not run into anyone else? And did you not fire a gun at that person? Saints alive! They fired a gun, you say? Blame me, Governor. You ain't telling us it was you in the doorway. It was. Why the bleating Nora? Didn't you mention it before? You were armed with a gun, and as you fled the scene, you fired that gun. At London's greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes. Gregson's gonna be bad. They shot the great Mr. Sholmes. Oh, he's on a box. I didn't hear that. I did hear that, actually. There was a rumor that he's been rushed to the hospital. The great Sholmes? That's beyond the pale. On the night in question, this pair were arrested by the police within minutes of the discovery of the crime scene. Their suspicions counterance rapidly gave them away. And when searched, a firearm was indeed found in their possession. Was it fired? Furthermore, the barrel shows signs of a shot having been fired from it. The prosecution invites his lordship to examine the firearm recovered from these brothers. Okay, well, this is very important. Hello? Yes, indeed. Remnants of powder around the muzzle, as you say, counsel. The quote was his rat white there just now? The court will hold this weapon as evidence. The Skulkin brothers' gun has been entered in the court record. Firearm found in the possession of the Skulkin brothers upon their arrest. They are signs of a single round. So we're having, okay. So I can't look at my court record. Hold on. Shout out to my learned British friend. Hold on. I knew he was going to say that. Okay, so we have a gunshot here. Or a gunshot here. Now, is there a possibility? Let's check this thing out. Does it have anything on it? This is Windybank's gun. The cylinder is completely empty. Mr. Windybank always used to keep his gun hand to hand on his shop counter. Yeah, but only ever with a single bullet loaded, I understand. That's right, to keep all the pawned articles that were in his care safe. But as one bullet was fired that night, the poor man lost his life. So protecting his shop, I wonder, trying to keep the articles safe. See, like, there's a possibility this gunshot could have been... This gun could have fired the one that hit Sholmes. I don't know how that would be possible. Can we see bullets here? So there's ammunition still loaded in 5 of this revolver's 6 chambers. Yes, which tells us that only a single shot has been fired from it. Exactly. The bullet that hit Hurley, in fact, isn't it? Yeah, it happens almost as soon as we walked in through the Windybank store. I'll make those brothers pay. Okay, Iris, calm down. So would there be any way to prove? Because this... I guess the height problem would be a really big problem. Because the Skulkins could have shot him through the door. See the gap in the door. And then the Windybank thing is what actually hit Sholmes. I don't know what that would entail. It would obviously entail that the Skulkins shot him. But... I don't know. No, because they ran away and the gun was in Gina's hand. Now, my learned Nepalese friend. Yes. Here's your successful presenting the evidence. For yes, these two are the telltale sounds of spell. For yes, there are the telltale signs of spent powder on this gun and a single bullet missing from the cylinder. The prosecution demands evidence that was fired at the scene of the crime under scrutiny in this trial. Oh, okay. I got that one. Well, I don't need evidence. I was there. No, that's not going to be acceptable, bro. However, the rest of us in the courtroom were not. Fuck, Suzuto's gone. Suzuto, can you come back and be on the stand, please? If the defense fails to provide evidence in support of its rash claim, we shall have no choice but to toast your incompetence and move on. Evidence that these two fired that gun before they left Windybanks that night. Yeah, we have it. What do you mean? What did Gregson not tell you? There's a clear bullet in the wall. This court demands that all claims are affirmed with clear proof. What evidence shows that these witnesses unloaded a firearm in the pawnbrokery shop that night? We present the blood sample, right? Yeah.
Take that!
The evidence is in this portfolio. What on earth do you have there, counsel? During the course of our investigations, we discovered a number of bloodstains. Not trusting the police to do their job they're trained to do? How arrogant Nipponese of you. Well, guess what? You guys fucked up, so don't even try. But, well, anyway. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in his portfolio. No, okay, wait. Okay, so sure. Wait. There's 3 bullets, right? Did Herlock still have the bullet in his arm? Right? We need to know. I'm probably like way off, but we need to know who the green is. If this green is Herlock's, then it causes a huge problem. Right? Or am I being daft? Because for all we know, right? No, I'm being dumb. Never mind, I take it all back. But if there were 3 bullets, if Herlock has a bullet in him, then this can't be his blood, right? I guess I wasn't paying too much attention. Oh no, I should have. Because Herlock had surgery, and if he did sew the bullet in him, then this bullet shouldn't be here. This could be from a 3rd gun, which we know a 3rd gun exists because Egbert pulled one on us. We analyzed all the blood samples we found and recorded the results in this portfolio. And you claim to have the evidence the court is demanding therein? Yes, my lord. No more dilly-dallying then, counsel. Present the pertinent evidence at once. What do you have in your portfolio that proves that these witnesses unloaded a firearm at the scene? This one?
Take that!
What is that? Explain! It's a photographic print taken at Windy Banks pawnbrokery on the day of the incident. From the scene of the crime, is it? It literally opened on the one. Is that a bullet hole? And if my eyes don't deceive me, it appears the bullet is still lodged there. Yes, as your lordship noticed, the bullet pierced Mr. Windybank's calendar. The date showed before the being the 16th of April, the very day of the pawnbroker's death. Okay. That means he must have been alive. Okay, 1 hour after midnight. Okay, so he was definitely alive between... sometime between midnight and 1 a.m. Because he said at midnight every hour on the hour. On the hour of midnight, he always ripped off the page. So that means at midnight, he ripped it off from 15 to 16. But this indicates that a separate shot had been fired sometime after the calendar had been sent to the 16th. Thank you. That's right, and while it isn't irrefutable, the defense believes there's credible evidence that the witnesses did fire a round from their gun at the pawnbrokers that night. Yeah. He's gonna fall off the box. Order! How did the prosecution stand, Lord Van Zykes? Oh, he is not shaken. He's about to stir, though. He is not shaken, but he's about to stir. If this is the direction my learned friend wishes to take, the prosecution has no objections. That's odd. That's odd. That's scary. What? Cool. Think you're cool, Van Zykes? But you'll forgive me for flinging my hollow chalice aside in disgust at the repugnancy it exposes. That these people lied to you? Yes, on the night in question, these brothers entered the pawnbrokery illegally. And like the bold baddies they claim to be, opened fire on the new arrivals before fleeing back onto the street. He's accepting it. That's so weird. That's weird. Usually whenever we do something like this, he would fight back about it. Take it easy there, Governor. You gotta land us in the soup. Yeah, we had a deal. You weren't gonna get into the details. Tell him, Skulky, because I set the bloke straight. Yeah, he didn't get into the details. I did. I have nothing to add. I have nothing to add. So he knew, didn't he? Van Zykes knew their testimony would almost certainly expose the extent of their crimes. And he did that for a reason. What's the reason, Van Zykes? It would seem now that I owe my learned Nepentese friend a word of gratitude. What do you mean? What I mean is that you have helpfully confirmed an important fact. Oh, the fuck. That the gun. See, no, this is where it's gonna come in. He's gonna be like, haha, so they shot him, so it couldn't have been them and had to have been Gina that shot him. To what fact do you refer? To what fact do you refer, Lord Van Zykes? As has been established at the point of their arrest, a single shot had been fired from the brother's gun. However, that shot found its target in Mr. Sholmes. Then clearly, these witnesses cannot be accused of the failure of the proprietor and the victim. In other words, these two men have no material connection to the murder of Mr. Windybank at all. So that's it. That's why he accepted it. That's it, we had nothing to do with it. We didn't, Nash, we didn't, that's what I reckon. Your crimes include unlawful entry, intent to steal, perjury, and let's not forget, attempted murder. Quite a catalog, eh, fellas? We ain't it for now, bruv. Now then, let us take a moment to consider the aforementioned great detective, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Why'd you put that in quotation? He is a good boy. It would seem the man patronized the pawnbrokery. Patronized, as in, not patronized. Right? Patronized is like the when you make fun of them. Patronized is when you do the good thing. Right? Or am I dumb? Anyways. The pawnbrokers in question somewhat regularly. Where's he going with this? Mr. Sholmes appeared to take pleasure in tinkering with eccentric machinery. Eccentric? Says who? Not me. Don't give me that look. He installed a pair of machines. Oh no. He installed a pair of machines like this one in the victim's shop. Oh. That's one of Hurley's red-handed recorders. What is that, Counsel? It's the appearance of a photographic contraption. As your lordship has surmised, it is indeed a camera attached to a small timing device. Every half hour, it automatically photographs the interior of the establishment. The idea being that if a thief were to break into the shop, he would be caught red-handed. Prosecution has obtained the photographs taken by the device on the night in question. There's no way there's there any. Okay. 2 p.m., 8:30 p.m., 9 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Sequorville observed copious identical prints are produced in quaint, dastardly fashion. Rather prodigal, I feel. In fact, there are 2 such devices in the victim's shop, my lord. Or are you just showing us that they're the same? Okay, one covers this. I can't show you, but one cover. Yeah, thank you. He's doing it for me. If I may refer to the course of the plan of the premises, their respective positions are here and here. Say that the cameras produced a print every half hour. I'm afraid I failed to see how that would help if the anticipated thief conducted his activities in one of the many 30-minute intervals. One can only pray that the would-be criminals linger, my lord. On the night in question, the witnesses currently in the stand were not caught on camera. Hehe, that's a bit old fairy talk, eh, bruv? Lady Luck loves a Skulkin. Lady Luck loves a Skulkin. Witnesses, at what time did you trespassing begin? Yeah, must have been just after 1. Right, bruv? Must have been, Nash, must have been. Yeah, just gone 1. In which case, minutes before these brothers entered the establishment. What scene might we expect to see within the shop? Let us examine the evidence. Gina? Gina, this looks bad! Gina, you better give me a good reason. Wait, why does she have the coat on? She doesn't have the coat on her arrest. Good lord. It's the defendant. Yeah, that looks really awful. Miss Gina Lestrade. Gina, I need an explanation. As the court can clearly see, the accused is pictured gun in hand facing the victim over the shop counter, no doubt coercing the proprietor to open the doors to his storeroom. Quite. One can be too easily imagine the events that unfolded. She's pointing the gun at him. The entry wound came from the back. The court will take this photographic print as evidence, if you please, counsel. Automatically by the red-handed recorder showing the scene of the shortly before the time of the murder. I don't believe it. Genie. In short, the accused is the only person who could have possibly killed Mr. Windybank. That's not... It's not entirely true. Problem one. I say, my lord. What if I might put in a word at this point? Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Took a bullet to the knee in the Battle May Want, 1880, don't you know? Decorated for it and all that, but forced to retire from service, sadly. Of course, a medal can never outshine the exploits of a chaps like us on the battlefield. Yes, Mr. Foreman, and what exactly is your point? Carried on the battle after retirement, you see? The battle of daily life, if you like. And here I am now leading this small squadron, 6 men, all good and true. And we all go down together, you mark my words. One for all and all for one. Alright, hey, Mr. Gary Deb, I know we arrested your wife, buddy, but like, please. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached agreement, have they? Is that what we are to understand? Well, Mr. Foreman, is that correct? No. In a manner of speaking, yes. This is the Gary Deb squadron position, sir. Well, no, it's too soon to make a judgment here. Status report for the court, man, on the double. His lordship insists on promptitude at all times, and that goes for making decisions, too. I think you find the truth is all clear as day now. I can reach out and touch it. Oh, well, I left it in there. I just won it. But in all honesty, I can't actually remember. Situation clear. Stop. No room for doubt. Stop. Truth now undeniable. Stop. Pull out the manual. I am very sorry for brothers. They are unlucky. That's the voice I'm giving him. Very well. I now call upon each member of the jury to state his or her leaning on the matter. Announce your considerable verdicts to the court.
Guilty.
Thank you, Mr. Gary. Thank you. That's very
Guilty.
cool. Thank you, jury number 3.
Guilty.
Jury number 4.
Guilty.
5.
Guilty.
Please stop. Please. Use this head. You gotta sanitize. You gotta be sterilized. Alright, we're about to knock these fools. It does indeed appear that the jury is unanimous in its leading already. Oh, Van Zyke is gonna be so baby raging. That photograph must be the definitive evidence that Gregson mentioned. The genie didn't shoot him? Yeah, I know. No, of course not. My lord, the defense wishes to assert its right to summation examination. Are you going to be baby raging, Lord Rand? Very well. The court grants permission. Baby rage, baby rage. So, you refuse to admit defeat again? Again? You lost the last 2. How unsurprising. You lost, you snake! Shall proceed immediately with the summation examination. Mr. Foreman, are all members of the jury ready? Absolutely, sir. Always ready for action, my chaps. Very well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will each explain on what grounds you have determined the defendant to be guilty. Alright, this is the first summation examination I'm doing without knowing how to do it.